Hey, it's your girl KV coming at you with the fresh retie for one, and with another review for Married to Medicine. This is actually two episodes. I have been a little under the weather, and I didn't want to come to y'all with my nose completely stopped up. So my nose is finally like I can breathe a little bit. I got my hot tea, cough drops over there, like we getting it together, y'all. So, first episode, season 11, episode 7, Mean Girl Gala. The second one is episode 8, Baby Birkin. And y'all know I also be watching Dr. Heavenly's lives on Monday, right? So, only thing which I'll touch on later on, just getting it out before I forget and get started. One thing she talked about was Toya in this bag and how, she ain't judging her. Toya want to mess up her money on a bag. Sure. She's like, I like to mess up my money on businesses. I mess up my money on my kids. I got my daughter a whole a whole beauty supply store trying to get her to stay in Atlanta. I'm about to buy her a whole penthouse so she can have, a little content house and stuff. So we all mess up our money our own way. I said, thank you, Heavenly. Everybody got their money. Spend it how you want to. And we'll get there when we get to the episode. But now that they not in debt and owing taxes and stuff like that, give me the silly, events. Give me the I'm having a party for my birthday. That's fine if you can afford the Birkin without going into debt. That's the silly little housewives hijinks. I don't mind. You know what I mean? Now, a baby shower for it, but we'll get there. Also, the tickets to the Met Gala, $250. $250. I I guess I would have expected a little bit more from their caliber of, these are doctors, not just like fresh doctors. Like, he's still a little under the weather. Y'all hear all them sniffles. Like for myself, I'm in my mid 30s. So like my friends that are doctors, they're new doctors. They're not 10 years in, 20, 30 years in doctors, you know what I mean? So I would expect something that we throwing to be in that 250 to 500 range. But I guess I just expected, like tables, seated dinner, stuff for people to actually pay for it. And then the auction, we gonna get there. We're not even there. Also they said Phaedra, I didn't put my ring on. Phaedra paid right before the reunion, just like she did with Todd, and just like she did with Kenya. I said, ooh, well then. But if I remember, I have touched back on them where they fall in the episode because I didn't copy paste them where they go in the episode like I meant to. But episode 7, Mean Girl Gala. In one of the little intro scenes, they show Toya at home with her boys, and they in their kitchen. One of them over there already cooking his little eggs or whatever, and she telling the other one, when you make your cinnamon rolls, you need to clean this stuff out. I said they take after they daddy because they back there cooking. Don't nobody want Toya cooking. The boys back there cooking. I said I love it. They need to get over there and teach Michael and Miles how to cook since they running it in the kitchen. Say what you want about Toya, but she spent time with them kids. Them kids is they got life skills, okay, at their young age, at them young tender age of what, like 11 and 13. They got life skills over there. Jesus. They're in two groups headed out to the lake house, Heavenly and her family's lake house, for a celebratory barbecue for her son. Zachary, he has graduated from UGA and he is going to Meharry Medical School, going in her footsteps, y'all. I said, how precious to go be a dentist. So here's his little barbecue. Quad, Phaedra, and King are in one car. Quite so messy. She like, girl, the people said you ain't doing your job when it comes to this Med Gala. Like, girl, the people said you better take your minutes, girl. They said you slacking. They said you ain't doing ish, but talking ish and swallowing spit, okay? Phaedra like, girl, whatever. She's in her confessional saying that Jackie is only really doing this as damage control because Buffy Buffy had brought back that live where Jackie was like, oh, black women be crying wolf, they be crying wolf, da 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 da. So she's like, girl, she just doing damage control. And I'm like, ooh, now the foundation that she picked to give to, is that the same foundation as last year, or is this a new foundation? Or what they donated to last year? We just wondering. So in the other car is Simone, Jackie, and Cecil. And she's like, is it Michael's birthday weekend? Girl. He about to be, 22, I think she said, 22 years ago, you delivered Michael. I said, see, I love these moments because it lends to how they are real friends. 22 years, you delivered my baby. You done been all up in there and delivered my child. Like, it's one of them friendships where it's like, yeah, you may fall out, but it might come back around. And so, yeah, these two weirdos. She was like, I remember being worried about his circumcision. She was like, oh no, I do good circumcisions. Yup, you saw his penis and you liked it. I was like, wait. Wasn't his penis good, huh, Cecil? He like, listen, I don't want nothing to do with this conversation. And then they go into how Phaedra really dropped the ball when it was coming to this. When she the one that set the goal for $100,000, and now she ain't raised not a dime. I guess at this point, all they had on deck was ticket sales. Nobody even made like pre-donations. And as somebody who is preparing to enter the event planning space, people of their caliber, with their means, with these people, one, y'all should have had better. So we ain't even there yet. How I get there already? That Met Gala annoyed the crap out of me. It was nicely decorated, but it was definitely giving like cocktail party and not a gala. Right? So we'll get there. We will get there. I just keep getting ahead of myself. But she's dropping the ball. She's dropping the ball on 100K. And Jacqueline had to call on Heavenly, and Heavenly is saving the day. She's jumping in and doing what needs to be done, whereas Phaedra can't even be worried with checking her text message to get the invite to send it out to people. Heavenly was like, girl, why you even pick her? But that's the next episode. So they had the little barbecue. It's cute. They got everything set up, got the food. I said, is that enough ribs for everybody? Is it 2 containers of ribs? Y'all know it looked like it was just ribs for like half the people there. I said, everybody get 2 ribs and move on to the sausage, huh? Get 2 ribs and move on to the burgers. I said, come on, you got money. It should have been more ribs. It should have been more ribs in that tray. But anywho, this is yada, 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 yada. No, Simone tells him, don't forget, Zachary, don't forget to get your money from everybody. Send out your cash app. So he said, no, I don't need any money. They started laughing. They were like, oh, what? And then Heaven was like, boy, you know how much your tuition is? You better get this money. This your aunties and uncles, boy. Stop playing. You better get this money. Your graduation money. But what's wrong with you? I said, sir, the way they are, and don't give me that they hang around broke people to where you wouldn't want to ask your broke family, you know what I mean, to give you no graduation money when your mama rich. But they rich too. They can give you money. They got enough money to give you a good little graduation gift, boy. Be quiet. And so they talking about how Quad and King hold on to each other. Ooh, they so cute. Da, 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 da. Oh, and when they walked in, they had their dog in a stroller. So Simone was like, Heavenly, is this your grandbaby? He was like, it's the dog. It's the dog. You know what I'm saying? I think if anything, that oldest son must got a baby, because she claimed that the Similac is what Damon can use because he lactose intolerant. But I don't know. It just gives that oldest son might have a baby because he's very private. And he don't even want to be on camera like that. I think the only time we really see him is like Christmas pictures and stuff like that. But yeah, is this your grandbaby? No, that's the granddog. That's the granddog. So Where we at? Where we at? This King first group sing with the guys. So, like, the guys are downstairs, the girls are upstairs on the little double balconies. They're letting him know, hey, stay out of the women's business. And that's going to be harder said than done because they're going to drag you into it. But even when they drag you into it, you still got to stay out of it. Don't form no opinion. Don't say nothing. Stay out of it. He just kind of laughing along like, all right, got it. So upstairs, the ladies are getting on Phaedra about dropping the ball for the fundraising. She gets mad. She's, I ain't letting no bitches act like y'all act like I ain't got the money. I got the money. I can write the check. They was like, just like us, who was that? So it was a confession like, now, if I had said that, it would have been a problem. Baby Phaedra was upset and annoyed with them. So on to other Met Gala planning. They decide that they are all going to donate $2,500, right? Everybody that's gonna be the group basis. That makes sense. If we're hosting an event, if it's our particular businesses up there, or if it's like by the cast of Married to Medicine or whatever, cool. Everybody gives this $2,500. I remember last year Toya had a problem. She did not want to give up no money. She just wanted to donate her wine from her wine club. She's like, I'm giving y'all, over what the asking price is, or what y'all, asking for a price in wine. Why would y'all expect me to, give him more? This year, I guess we're gonna find out at the reunion or tonight's episode on if she gave tonight, because Heavenly gonna say anything. You can't take everything she say on her YouTube, child. She a mess. But $2,500. So they like, oh well, let's call Tisha and Contessa to tell them the amount. Toya is not okay with that. She just feels like y'all better not call them about a donation. And I was confused on it at first because I'm like, if it's by the cast of Married to Medicine, then they're hosting this event. I was like, are you saying that because they not invited to the barbecue? Because that's two completely different things. But she feels like, why would they pay to be around people that they was just about to fight yesterday? I said, this is works. Like, I feel you in the regular world, but this is work, right? I don't know. I didn't see no problem with them being expected to donate if this is a cast event type deal. So the night of the Met Gala, y'all. It was some nice decor. They got, some decor this time, nice little flowers and things like that. Different from the black drapery of last year. They just had the black drapes up in a ballroom. Call it a day. They had some actual decor, had a theme for that and everything. Like I said, the tickets were only $250, and it doesn't seem like the auction items were previously listed in any type of literature that went out about this event. Okay, so the event planner in me, if it was a fundraiser with these type of people, we would have had a little list. We're going to be auctioning off this, and many more items. It would have been a silent auction. It wouldn't have been a grand show of, hey, I'm going to pay this much for this much, because I feel like that can get a little dicey. That's, it's a flip of a coin in this group. But I feel like it just would have been easier to have a silent auction that people could circle around all night, boom, bye, bow, have a little link for it, do, have it set up like eBay or something. Oh, this person beat me out. Let me do this. And it should have been some better stuff. It should have been some better stuff. They should have had some better pricing for it. They should have had. So I'm thinking when I'm first watching this, like, oh, okay, maybe they didn't show the whole auction. Maybe they just, gave us half the auction because it was too many items. And when they went and counted up the money, it seemed like, nope, that was the whole auction. I said, okay. But into, the episode, back to the episode. They have the actual decor, not just drapes like last year. We see Contessa getting dressed, and she always looks so insanely ridiculous. She's about to try on this headpiece, and her daughter is just kind of like, No, and it's missing a stone anyway. Simone's outfit, I didn't understand. It was giving like you trying to be a sexy pilgrim, a fancy pilgrim. I was like, what's happening here? T had this headpiece and it was tight. It was too tight in the thigh area, but it wasn't terrible. But it was like it was a statement piece. You know, she had a statement fit on. So I was just like, okay. We meet Mimi. She's the new doctor, and her husband is Steve. I said we halfway through the season when we meet the new people. Okay. Like I said, they do the auction over the mic. First up was it Phaedra? Was it Phaedra? We'll get to that. Dr. G and Damon talk and they clear it up and they hug it out and everything like that, right? So we started the bids. Like I said, it was way too high. The trip didn't even have flight included. The trip was just a hotel for like what $3,000 to $5,000 or something like that. And Contessa was like, "You want to go to Morocco?" To her daughter. Her daughter's like, Girl, you gotta still buy a flight, which is gonna be just as much as what you paying for the hotel. Like, it didn't feel like a deal. It didn't feel like a deal. They didn't have no fancy pictures of the resort on the PowerPoint to make people be like, "Ooh, yeah, we might want to do this. Is it all inclusive?" None of that. None of that, y'all. I said, Lord, they are such amateurs. They are such amateurs, y'all. This was cracking me up. So, cooking with Quad. It's two people cooking with Quad. $3,000. Please. Please. I think somebody ended up paying like $1,500 for it. They do the date with Phaedra. She gonna say, "Dr. G, you wanna bid on Phaedra? You wanna bid on Phaedra?" And ain't nobody bid no Phaedra. She said, "I guess it ain't hitting for what it used to get. I guess, once you give it out so much, ain't nobody trying to buy it, child." Contessa talk about pull up the Instagram because this ain't selling nothing. This ain't selling nothing. And so then this old man appears and he talks about how they went on a date years ago, but she didn't put out on the date. Okay, everybody's like, "Oh, okay, yeah." And they're like trying to convince him to bid on Phaedra, but he's like, "No, I'm not gonna pay no $4,000 for this girl if she ain't. If I took on $100 date, she ain't put out. She better." He agrees. You see her whispering. He goes ahead and agrees and says, "Well, this one better be different. She better put out this time. She better give them cakes this time." She flopped it on up. Everybody else, I better get the cakes this time. It was just so uncomfortable for this to be happening on the mic. I was like, "This is ghetto. This is ghetto. Get her out of here." The glass bowl. Not Phaedra. Quad and Heavenly had went to a glass blowing class, and Quad did the glass blowing, and they did this little bowl. Steve, which is Mimi, the new girl's husband, did $6,000 for it. That was odd. I'm sorry. That was, well, you know what? He probably expected more auction items. So when they got to the last item, he was just like, "Dang, well, I did plan on giving some money, so let me just buy this girl bowl." So I was like, "Why you paying overbidding for this girl bowl with all these other stuff?" And I'm like, he probably was expecting more items. And that's why you're supposed to have a list. Have a list. Have it all laid out where people can rock around and see what it is. Or do the tech stuff. Come in, scan this thing. Here go the app. Boop, boop, bam. Okay? If y'all do this for next year's Met Gala, somebody get Heavenly on the line. Somebody get Heavenly on the line. Put her in Sage. Put her in Sage. Tell her a YouTuber, I do events and stuff, and I just really want this fundraiser to, bing, bop, boop, boop, bop, bam. Next year or this year, shoot. Like, girl. So yeah, y'all. They only raised like 53,000, and Phaedra like, "Oh, what's that? 40, 47? Okay, girl, yeah, I got it. Girl, I'd rather check. I got it. Phaedra, that's a lot of money. I got it. They like, she really got it. But they went on and presented the man with $100,000 check. I said, child, Child, this mug is something my little self gave to my mama. See, it literally says copyright 1996. And my big oversized mug, the graduate mug, it got a crack in it. So I had to pick another mug. And this was the next biggest mug. I gotta find another mug. Baby Birkin, episode 8. Toya walk around the house. I said, what you, she must have just been in the pool or the hot tub or something, because she had on like a tiny little top, and I'm guessing it was a swimsuit with like a fishnet shirt on top and this little short skirt. I said, girl, hey Toya, hey, that's how you just be walking around the house. You finna go to the pool, that's just how you walk around the house. Okay. She is talking about how she wants to have a baby shower for Stormy. Her husband like, who? Eugene? Dr. Eugene said, who? The son is like, oh, her purse. How you know? How you know that's my purse? How you know that's how you know that's her name? Because you've made it your personality. Toya has made owning this Birkin her full personality. I got a Birkin bag, y'all. Hey, how you doing? Girl, I just bought a Birkin. I did. I just bought a Birkin, girl. It's my first. Her name is Stormy. You want to see her? That's Toya. So, you know, she is gonna get a kick out of messing with the ladies and confusing them and thinking that, you know, they always wanted, they know I always wanted a little girl, so they gonna be thinking I'm really having a baby, da da da. Her first Birkin. So we see Heavenly and Quad at Jackie's house going over the financials. They ended up at $55,000. She mentions that man want his money back. She said that man want his money back, and Phaedra ain't gave no type of check for that 40 whatever amount that she supposed to give. But shoot, go ahead, add his stuff to hers since he want his money back. He thought this was a show. On the YouTube, on the YouTube, Phaedra said that man said, Heavenly said, that man said, Phaedra said in his ear, it's just a TV show. They're not really gonna take your money. Just go into it. Just go into it. Tricked them, excuse me. That cracked me up. But they over there going over the financials. Like I said, they like, I guess it ain't hitting for what it used to, child. Nobody want that thing no more. Simone gets there, and Heavenly and Jackie are just like, why? No, Heavenly asks Jackie, why you pick Phaedra over me? She's like, listen, she talked herself up. She act like she know all these people and all this stuff, yada, yada, yada. And then she's just like, y'all know all the same people. Phaedra ain't calling her Hollywood friends to come out and do this. She's not. So locally, y'all know the same people. So it was interesting that she trusted Phaedra. I said, was this a production move? Because, girl. So Simone is like, let's role play. How you gonna tell her that you trying to get this money from her? Hey, girl. Child, yeah. Now, what you want, girl? You know, I'm in LA. You know, I'm getting an award. You know, everybody want me. Oh, yeah, girl, I'm good for it. I can write that check. You know, I give UGA $100,000 a year, okay? I gotta go. I gotta work. I was tripping so hard, y'all. She had Phaedra down packed. That was too funny. Dr. G and T are having a couples dinner with Simone and Cecil, Tess and Scott, and the new couple, Mimi and Steve. Tess looked cheap. Tess makes too money to be looking so cheap. Make too much money to be looking so cheap. Like, it looked like she just threw on a pink bra under this dress, and like she really went through the motions of like pinning it to make it look like it's not. And if it is the dress that's two-tone like that, it looks cheap, baby. It looks cheap. For it to be hot pink, it could have been a neutral color to look a little, it just looked like she put a bra on up under it. It just don't even look like it could be the style of the dress, y'all. So T is excited for Steve and Mimi because they're millennials, and she thinks that that was Steve that had the highest donation. So they're telling Mimi that they need another shrink in the group because the girls are crazy. And she lets them know, yeah, there's a couple of people in the group that said the same thing. So Tisha talks about how she did a relationship, like she taught a class on age gap relationships, y'all. How to get you an old man. I said, what? You did a class? What? I was just stuck. I remember when she was wedding dress shopping, how she said that she was in a Facebook group that, was age gap relationship support type deal. But now you teaching classes, I was just confusion. I really was. She wants to normalize it and have a speed dating event, okay? We learned a new couple. She look like she's could be like Stormy cousin or something. Mimi do. I was like, who she look like? Simone and Heavenly about to do a couples trip to Key West. I think it was Key West. Tisha don't know if she really want to go on this trip. She don't know if she want to fool with Heavenly. She doesn't support my relationship. Girl, let it go. You got to be around her or you can get off this show. Like, it's literally that simple. You're not going to turn these people against her when they've been her friends for 10, 15 years. Like, fall in line or get out. One or the other. Tessa is just like, sorry in advance, girl, but we gonna break you. Talking to the new girl because she just seems real sweet and like, oh yeah, oh okay. Right. So the speed dating night, y'all, she got the girls helping her out, Toya, Tess, and Phoebe. Phaedra there for a date. I said, oh, I guess she is single, huh? She can't assist nobody. She ain't got no man herself. So she there to find her little young junk, okay? She don't want no old man, okay? But she said, I just want me a little lad to play with, okay? But I ain't no sugar mama. That little lad need to come with the bag, okay? I need a little lad with the bag, okay? I said, hey. So they're like, Greg, where your friends at? Phaedra said, oh, these your friends? I said, not that T had Dr. G round up all his single friends to hook these people up with, to foster age gap relationships in the community. It's so cringe. It is just so cringe. So they're doing this speech. Yeah, so this my man. We 23 years apart, but this ain't no sugar baby arrangement. They like, girl, yeah, right. They flash back to her. I get a little access to the money. I get a little access to the money. And Toya is like, girl, bye. The PP gets smaller. Everything gets smaller and wrinkly and stop working as he get older. You don't want no old man just to be with no old man. I said, Lord Jesus Christ. But this ain't no sugar baby relationship for real, because he ain't let her spend that money like that. She said a little access. She can't go buy her no Birkin. She can go buy her like maybe a Louis every now and again. You know what I mean? Like, if she add her money to it, maybe she can buy her a Chanel or something. But he ain't giving her that much access to the money, okay, to be a sugar baby for real. So she wasn't lying. But these men are a wild bunch. They were so eccentric, so colorful, so interesting, okay? But Phaedra's talking to this boy, talking about, you can call me mama. I said, girl, what? The little African dude, they look cute enough or whatever. Now, Simone come in with Heavenly, y'all. Tess told us, anyone got some sage? Anybody got some sage? We need to clear energy. Anybody got some sage? I'm like, Tessa, you might choke Heavenly out with that sage, but you might also choke yourself out too. You might choke out the whole cast, honestly. Honestly and truly. Lighting some sage, you might let all the ladies just gonna be, let the bodies hit the floor, okay? Don't light no sage for your own good, boo-boo, okay? She tried it. So T tries to smooth it over with Heavenly, but Heavenly is like, no, her energy bad. I ain't trying to deal with it. Her energy bad. They just like, listen, we come in peace. She a relationship expert. Well, you know damn well you don't support me. You don't support my relationship. It is almost time for us to go to my mama's house, in case y'all heard all of that. So I'm finishing this up. I'm in Baker. Oh, where we at? Where we at? Dr. Mimi comes over, but they end up arguing. And T puts Heavenly out. Because Heavenly's like, girl, I don't know you. We weren't friends. Well, get out. Get the hell out. We weren't friends. Girl, it'd be a mess. They just be fighting and be like, what is happening here? So now the singles cast their votes, and I think it was only 2 matches that like picked each other. I said, well, this was a wild bunch, so yeah. And Phaedra and the little guy she had was one of the matches. I said, dang. So Toya at this daggone baby shower, y'all. Tessa come in and bend down and kiss her stomach. I said, girl, it's Toya letter. Ashton is embarrassed to be involved in this, but Eugene is making sure that he gets paid for catering because earlier when she was first telling him about it, she was like, oh, you should make your smash burgers. And he was like, oh, yeah, you can get him to cater your party. He was like, son, she got Birkin money. She can pay you to cater the party. Because she like, no, he can just make the burgers. No, you got Birkin money. You can pay him to cater your party. I said, period. You can pay him to cater your party. You got Birkin money. So everybody gets there, yada, yada, yada. T hugs Toya. Tia Toya hug, and she asks her about Heavenly, what's going on with that? Are you going to be going on a trip? Yada, yada, yada. And she was like, but y'all was hanging out. How did that happen? She was like, well, after speed dating, we ended up going out. And of course, Simone brought her again. So we just ended up, being in the section together, being in the club together. She said that Heavenly ended up apologizing to Dr. G. They had a good little talk. Ain't no beef on her end. But there's always contestant to have that beef with Heavenly, right? Jackie FaceTimes like, oh, I can't make it. I said, of course not. You don't like that girl for real, no way. Jackie loved to be on call. Jackie will probably put herself in the hospital and take somebody else's shift when it's a Toya event so she can have an excuse not to go. Jackie does not like Toya. And every chance she gets to tell her that she is small and unimportant, she will, okay? So, where we at? Toya comes out with this Birkin wrapped in an Hermes scarf, and her son in the kitchen like, look at embarrassed, just shaking his head at this dramatic reveal. She got like a glass case helping Contessa, putting the purse in the case. It was just a whole mess. They looking at her like, girl, all of this for a bag, and her son like, and it's ugly too. They're looking at her like, what? She in her confessional talking about, this represents a new level, a different level, a new addition to the family. Why wouldn't I have a baby shower? They just all like, Dr. Mimi, I like her. The therapist in her comes out because everybody is sitting there looking at Toya like she is crazy. And Mimi says, well, tell us more about it. Tell us more about it. But she also has a confused look on her face. But she's trying to save the moment. And it was hilarious. And so Tess is like, is this your first one? Is this your first one? Okay, well, I guess I was really happy about my first two. I was really happy about my first one too. So she's like, okay, well, now we're going to get into the baby shower games because I got gifts, okay? What is the hardware color on a Birkin? Tess is like, minor brass. Yeah, I think minor brass, right? And Simone is like, yeah, I got 2 Birkins and I could not tell you what, the hardware color is. I don't just, Hermes. I wear Hermes, but I have a collection of luxury bags. They like, Hermes. You mean Hermes? I'm going to say Hermes in a minute. I really don't care. That's my point, okay? That's my point. It ain't my personality to have a party for. It's a bag. It's an expensive bag. I got 2 of them, but it's just a bag, okay? Girl, I was cracking up at them. Qua was like, I only have 1. I said she finna get on the line with King. King, the girls were talking about how many Birkins they have, and I only have 1, and Toya got 1 now, so I can't have the same amount of Birkins as Toya, so I want a Birkin for my birthday. That's what that moment was giving. Okay, she was about to go in full brat mode. I only have 1. I know because I know. But Heavenly is like, I would never. Like Heavenly said, she ain't messing up her money on a bag. She don't care how much money she got. Heavenly could have 3-4 Birkins in her closet, but she said that ain't where I'm messing my money up at. I buy another house before I buy another Birkin, okay? Well, if I buy a Birkin, period. So she handed out some little gifts, and she tells Mimi, this is the most you're gonna see us smile and be happy together, girl. And they're like, we can do this again. We gonna do this again in Key West. She was like, we're gonna get along so good in Key West that our husbands gonna be the ones arguing because they not know what's going on. I said, they are so crazy. She was like, oh, girl, it's gonna be a mess. Just wait. I said, oh, we know. Y'all can't take man trip without it being a mess. So we don't expect nothing less, okay? And then thinking about trips, y'all, now I gotta go down a little diatribe rabbit hole. Thinking about trips and with Tess being back and with Tess going on this trip is taking me back to the moment that I was completely over Contessa when they were in, was it Antigua? I think it was Antigua. And they had the 2 villas, and Contessa had just had her mastectomy. You know, she had the double mastectomy because her mom passed of breast cancer or had breast cancer. I think she passed of it. And she had the gene as well. So she wanted to be proactive and get the double mastectomy and just get implants of the same size in its place. She had just got that done, and they were on this trip. I'm like, you should have been at home for one. You just came out for surgery. You should have been at home. But she's on this trip, and they're walking, and like a whatever crab, a shell crab, snow crab, whatever, hops out, and Toya's like, oh no! And Toya's short, Contessa's tall, so her jumping back like this very well, whoop, hit Tess in the boob. Tessa off with somebody else, whether it be her husband, I can't remember who she was talking to, but she was like, a part of me feels like Toya did that on purpose. That is when I was over Contessa. Because how, as bad as Toya can be, as tacky, as miserable, as many things as Toya can be on her bad days, I don't think she would ever hit her in her chest knowing that she got surgery recently. So that was just so nasty of Contessa to say, and I have been over her ever since. So yeah, that just brought that back up for me, because Tess, that's, if she'll do that to Toya, just think about the way she's inflating, or she may be inflating her interactions with Scott. Just ponder. Just ponder about it. And while you're pondering, thumbs up this video. Like this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share this video with a friend, okay? Let the people know that I'm here, you guys. Subscribe. It's just 95% that just be falling up on my videos. Subscribe. Y'all be watching, but y'all ain't clicking, okay? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. I'm about to go have family dinner at my mama's house like I do every Sunday. And it's her Sunday to cook. So y'all have a good one. And I will see y'all on the next one. I think I'll be doing Potomac and Sisters tomorrow on the next one. Bye, y'all.